Well, good morning. This is a Sunday morning here in Monterey. I'm looking forward to the men's finals in the tennis back at Flushing Meadows, right near LaGuardia Airport. And after watching that, I guess they're coming on, probably start playing at about 11 o'clock. So I have a little time here. I don't know the exact time, but it's after 8. The fog has burned off. I see a little sunshine outside. This is up in the Delta. The sun probably came up. There wasn't any fog out there. We'll just locate you here looking down toward the Bay Area and down toward Monterey. I'm right down here. And we're going up here to the Delta. I had a boat up here, a Yamaha, 23-foot Yamaha. It had twin-engine jet ski engines. They were 150 horsepower, four-cylinder, and they were jets. So it was a jet boat, which is great for the Delta because there's a lot of shallow water over in here. The story goes is Fremont. I don't know whether it was Fremont, but here's the town of Fremont. But we've got a right here is Mount Diablo. Let's see, Concord, and so I think Mount Diablo is right about in here. See if it says Mount Diablo on there. And I guess it could be an old volcano, extinct volcano that sits up there. And he climbed up on that peak back in the days before airplanes. He sailed in here and then decided to set out, climbed up on this peak, and when he looked out to the east, this was all covered with water, and it was during spring runoff from all the rivers, the American River, the San Joaquin River, Sacramento River, American River, all these rivers running down through here caused a lot of flooding. So they say after they built the railroads, they used the Chinese labor to help build the Delta system. So this all being covered with water. These are all levees that are around in here. And they would put in the levees and then they'd pump the water out. And what it would look like before they pumped the water out is, I have to clear my throat. Haven't talked much yet today. There's this area here called Frank's Tract. And this was an area they pumped out. They pumped it out twice. And back around the time I was born, they call it blowing down, I think. When the storm comes and you have a storm surge from the west, tidal and relatively high tides, I guess from the winds blowing and the tide surge, pushes the water higher and up against the levees. And so this area, which was called Frank's Tract, Bethel Island is one of these tracts. It's good. And what they do is they have farmlands. You see, most of these tracts are not a bunch of houses. The older ones that are in certain areas have became developed and have farms and housing around the edges. So Frank's Tract blew down twice back 80 some years ago. And up here, the town of Isleton, and we'll get up here, I think we'll see Isleton. Yeah, there's Isleton. So they had a breach up here, and this town flooded right in there. What we're going to do is, for some reason, I like Rio Vista. It's a nice little town. There's some interesting things going on in that town, which I don't have to get into. And then flying out of here in this X-Cub with floats, and we will land on water eventually. We'll go up The Delta being built created this thing, this slough here. These waterways are called sloughs, and the old Sacramento River came down. There's Cortland just south of Sacramento, and came down, and the riverboats shallow drafted boats would go up and down, and overnight it was probably about a 12-hour run from San Francisco to Sacramento. So Sacramento is a deep water port, and they did that by building a channel up here. This is the deep water channel that goes directly up to Sacramento Port. Here's the Sacramento Port right here. Here's downtown Sacramento. You've seen me land at Sacramento Executive before they built the main terminal up to the north. Here's the main Sacramento terminal up here. A new terminal, probably been there 25 years at this point. But so this is just general aviation down here at Sacramento Executive Airport. This is an Air Force base. Mather was a Air Force base right there. There's a few Air Force bases around up in the Sacramento area. So anyway, back to the Delta system. They ran out of, I guess they ran out of farmlands, and they saw a chance to create more farmlands in the Delta area, and that's how this developed. So we're going to fly up Steamboat Slough. This became known as Steamboat Slough because it was a shortcut down here. Probably saved half hour, maybe a couple hours from going down the old Sacramento River over here. So there's some fun little towns. I like just the whole idea of the shortcut for steamboats going up here. There is a great Grand Island resort. You've heard me talk about that before. You can look that up on YouTube. They have parties and weddings, and a farmer, I forget his name, it wasn't Grand, but this was his tract in here, and he grew pears and sold them all over the place. Made a ton of money. Eventually went broke during the Depression. And anyway, some of his residence, his mansion, is still there. It was a hangout for Hollywood stars and famous people at times. There's just a lot of history up in here. So I'm gonna bounce around in the X Cub, and let's get going. And we'll first fly up to up here. Let's see. We're gonna go up to Walnut Grove, and they have a little town called Locke, which was a little Chinese town up there, which is very interesting. Then we'll fly back down. I don't know which way we'll go, but we're going to end up in Terminus. Right here, it says on the map, you can't quite see it right under there. It says Terminus, but that's Tower Park, and the road comes out of Lodi here over there, and that's Highway 12. Highway 12 goes across to Rio Vista right there, and then on over to Fairfield, and Travis Air Force Base is right over here. Okay, enough of the geography. We're going to stick pretty much with the Delta here today. So let's get going. Thanks for the hanging in for the chatter. It looks kind of like the Cessna Skywagon. Has a Cessna-looking wing on it. Cessna was talking about 172s down here, but that's
Oscar 88 traffic,
a little bigger than that.
Delta taking off runway 7 east departure.
So we got to click ready, and east departure. We got to get the sun up. I'm not going to take off in the dead of night. So let's get it here to about noon, at which the sun will be behind us as we head up for let's go outside and look around a little bit at this little airport right here. And also we're adjacent. There's Mount Diablo that I told you about, and of course San Francisco is down that way. So that's Mount Diablo, where Fremont climbed up there, and this is the little airport at Rio Vista. It looks something like this, and we'll go inside just see what we look like here. And I'm just going to put my little clip on my little fix on my unit here. See if that works. Yeah, that works. I have a part on my quadrant on my yoke that isn't working. It's a little connection, electronic connection that keeps this working for me. Oh, we like to have that because I love when I'm off. Well, I have to go inside, yeah. And we're going to get into more in here on what's going on, but pretty much we're just going to be dead reckoning today. So let's get going. Take the brakes off, and first thing we're going to look for, we'll look for the deep water channel off to our left. A little bit of torque and P factor, and we're off the ground, off and running. We'll swing it left and get the wheels up. Let's look at it from the side. Yeah, they look like they came up. Yeah. Good enough. And we'll see the channel up here. We'll get a little altitude on. We'll get the flaps up. This airplane, they built Cubs starting back in the 30s. A guy named Bill Piper had the Cub, and I learned in the Piper J3. I think the J1 was called a Taylor craft, and then J2 and J3. So I'll talk a little bit more about that, but the aircraft I learned in didn't have any electronics, just you'd have to prop it to start it. You've heard all this. This is the deep water channel right there. Then we come back and this is all called the Sacramento River. The Sacramento River actually comes back in right here, and then it continues down the Sacramento River. Right down here, there's a lot of interesting wind. That's why all these windmills are right down here. Lots of wind going into the hot valley. The cool ocean air is sucked into these hot valleys. And my boat I used to keep down in here in Antioch, which was right down about right in there. So we can level off now. So I was going to tell you about the sailboarding. They've got these kiteboarding that takes place right down here. Lots of winds down here, and relatively flat waters. So we're gonna go up Steamboat Slough. Here's Isleton. I mentioned Isleton over here, where the levee blew down. That's the term when the levee gives up its position. It gets breached, blow down or breached, and so this little town over here flooded. And so we'll head up. And we'll see if we spot. I'm going to drop down to about 1,500 feet, And this has a little autopilot in it, but I'll just fly it by hand. And bring the prop and so forth back. Let's look in here and see what we got on the engine. 24 would be probably what this engine likes. 2400 RPM, 24 inches. We got it about in there. Yeah. So this is what I'm looking at: the RPM and the manifold pressure. So this has probably 180 horse engine, Lycoming, and it's got a constant speed propeller on it. Okay, let's go back outside. And we're heading up toward, and we'll be ending up going over, right about over in here is where Locke and well, gotta think about it. I'll let I'll let you know what it's called. Walnut Grove. I have my little laptop, my little Apple laptop, which has the Apple map on it. So I have been up here on my boat, right along here, and of course this is great for wakeboarding. We did a lot of wakeboarding at a tower on the Yamaha, and we did most of our wakeboarding. We found a neat place that actually wasn't too far from Rio Vista, almost due east from there. So we'll go along here and see if we spot the Grand Island Resort. This could be it right there. See, this is probably it right there. Let's just stop. Boom. Right there. And so with the tennis courts, so forth, I'm betting that's Grand Island Resorts. Whether these are all pairs at this point or not, I don't know. But I just love it that the old river boats came right up and down here, and you can get a closer look here at the levees. See these are probably 10 feet high, and so if the levee breached, this area would all be covered with water. So let's now swing over toward, take it off of the hold. There we go. And we're going to head over toward Walnut Grove. Head east. And we'll see the Sacramento River, and we'll just take it south, huh? How about that? And just in case. Actually, this may come out. I can't remember whether this comes out. This comes out above. Well, it really doesn't matter if we get to Walnut Grove or not. We'll see what happens here. And I could look on here, and we can get in behind here like that. I have buttons on my little yoke. I can get a side look like that. There we go. See me in there. And see if we come up on let's see how we're doing here where we see Grand Island. So we might have missed Walnut Grove. Let's see. No, we're. I think we're in good shape. I think this is Walnut Grove coming up here. And we could figure that out here. Let's just see what's on the chart. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're just fine. Yeah. Yeah, and then this going to the left. So this is Walnut Grove right here, and then we want to go off and Locke. Locke is right, probably sitting down right in there, and we'll stop for a second right here and look down at Locke. I believe this is the little town of Locke here, and you can tell that the water is higher here than sitting down in there. And then we're going to go, this area over here, they have another name for that, and I can't remember. It's called I forget. Let me see here. No, can't call up the name of this area. People like to come up with their houseboats and camp up over in here. Okay, let's get going, and we're heading down toward down toward Tower Park. We're going to look for a boat that's sunk down there. It's actually a small ship. It used to be a small cruise ship that a guy has been restoring. And we can take this off now. And I think I know where I am. So I know where I am. I'm at Walnut Grove and the little town of Locke. They have a little steakhouse in here called Al. I won't say what Al was called, but it's got the name which is politically incorrect. And they do have a lock right here too. Okay, let's go on, get it off of hold, and we're going to work our way down to Highway 12, and so it's down by 8 Mile Road, which is a road that comes out of Stockton. So I'm gonna see if that path it's not on there. No, that's all right. We'll figure it out. All these great waterways, and again they're protected from the wind, so it's just flat. It's flat glass for water skiing. So possibly we should be over right there. So we're going to have to work at this. We'll bisect this, and we'll look for Highway 12. Don't know what this highway is. Let's see here. I think we're getting close. Yeah, we gotta find Highway 12. Yeah, it's Lodi. Heritage Field. Yeah, I can't quite pick out. This could be it right in here. Yeah, I think we're all right. I think this is Tower Park right here. Yeah. By chance here we hit it. It is Tower Park. That's Highway 12 going across there. Guy worked in California in Carmel Valley. Real estate. He liked to come up here in the summers with his family. So we're going to put it on hold here just for a second. And I actually had a ride. A guy came up here. He's delivering a guy here. He's being picked up, and he had one of these like cigarette boat, and it was the fastest thing I ever did on water. I think we got it. We came up from down here, from the Little Venice Yacht Club. Down here is the San Joaquin River. And what we're going to go do is go down here, go down Potato Slough, this is called. But these are manufactured homes, and then there's I think they're actually, it's a bunch of mobile homes. They have a little restaurant in here. It's in the launch area. I launched my boat. My son was working when he first started his engineering, civil engineering. He worked out of Carson City. And has a home up in Gardnerville, and they used to drive down from Tahoe, and we'd meet here. We did that about a few times, but you had a limited area. That's if they just came down for a day. We did that a couple of times. Okay, so now we're going to go on to see if we can find where that boat is that and I'm just gonna stop here for a second because I don't know whether I go left or right here. I'm not sure, so I'm just gonna hold it right there, and I'm gonna look at my so I got Howard Landing, Walker Landing. Okay, there's Terminus. Okay, and it splits. It splits right there. And it comes down. Okay, so it's to the right. Yeah. And it's gonna be just below where this river comes in here, so it's right over there, and it's the old 8 Mile Road came out from like Lodi, not Lodi, just out of North Stockton, and and there used to be a place when I went there, like in the late 90s. It was called Herman and Helen's, and they rented houseboats. Renting houseboats was a big deal, and people would rent their houseboats and they'd cruise all over the Delta, back in the good old days. So then I haven't been up there, but I have been down this way, and we'll get down here to Herman and Helen's, and we'll see where the road comes out from Stockton. So just below there, right down in here. It's going to be right on this edge here. So we'll go down lower, and we'll get in behind here, and we'll see what happens is in this program, the computer. There used to be all kinds of docks here at Herman and Helen's, and they had some houseboats, permanent houseboats. So you can see the docks are underwater, and for some reason that's not global warming, but the ship sits right there. Oh, you can just see it. Wow, it just shows it underwater. We'll put in a little flap and fly back around. Don't want to get too slow, and we'll fly over the underwater ship. Well, did sink, and we'll stop the camera. We'll stop the cameras to show you what's here. It's pretty big. We're going pretty slow right there, so you can see the stern, and here's the bow, and we've got a dock for it, and it's in about 8 feet of water here. And so you know, with this is the bottom of the land. The land is, you know, that's the land that was there before they put the levee in, and they pumped this area out into here. So this is like 8 feet higher. This is a little bit above sea level. This is sea level right here. See, we're at 280 feet above sea level right now, and there are tides here. There's like a 2 foot tide that you see right here. So now we're gonna head on down to Little Venice Island. I got to bring the power back up, go back inside, and bring the power back up to 24 inches. There we go, 24 inches. Turn it loose here so it doesn't stall on me. So that's a project in work. Guy that was a programmer. We're going to get too slow and we're going to stall. And get back on the tail here. We can see what we're doing. So we don't want to go toward Diablo. If we went that way, we'd be going back to the Little Venice Yacht Club. And we'll get this in a little closer so we can see what we're doing. Yeah. And I think what we want to do is we want to just continue right down here. We'll look back. And we're going southeast. So I think we're all right. So we'll see if we get down here to Tinsley Island. Yeah, I think that's what we did. We came down. Yeah, we came down right here. So now we're heading. Yeah, there's Tinsley Island right there. Right there. And right here is the old. Here, we'll take this out of the way. We'll stop it right there. Point out a few things. So right in there, they don't have a big building like that, but they have docks all around. They have a big swimming pool, and of course the satellite does its thing. It'll be fun to see in November how they do on this. But there's the old lighthouse is in here. There's no building next to the lighthouse. It's by itself. There is a little, there's possibly a little manufactured home that's next to this caretaker's quarters, next to the lighthouse, which was down in, it was down by San Rafael, San Pablo Bay. They brought the lighthouse up, and that was kind of their bed and breakfast. I stayed in that a few times. Very private club. This is owned by St. Francis Yacht Club right here. And of course this is the main channel going into Stockton. So just so you see where we end up, we'll fly into Stockton and land in the harbor in Stockton. And that's relatively east. Let's see that we're, and we could, let's see right here. We'll go ahead and put it on hold, and we go down here, and where do we get nav, menu, and CDI, more options, back. I think it's the menu. Oh, here, nearest, right there. So we can look on here. We could look at Lodi and see if this comes down here. There it goes. How do we get this to work? Here's Stockton. Stockton? Yeah. Yeah, there's Stockton Airport right there. So if we wanted to fly direct to Stockton Airport, which we're not going to do, let's see, CLB, but that helps. See, it does have the direct line to where terminus was right there. So for some reason it didn't show up on my little chart. But if we put in that we want to fly direct, so we hit direct, and let's see, to activate direct. So that does that. No, that's to Custa. So we want to go to 6CLB. Let's see, CL8. It's 8, CL8, Stockton, California. So we click that, and we want to go direct to there. Let's see if that works. KSCK, nearest airports. Let's do it that way. KSCK. I think I saw it. KSCK right there. Right there. And activate direct. Now we're talking. See, there we go. KSCK. Okay, now we take this off, and we're off and running to KSCK if we get lost. And this line here indicates our route of flight, and we can see that on, and actually we've got to see that the flaps are on. That's all right. It's keeping us honest. So I can see Stockton in the distance here. So we will let's activate the autopilot nav and activate. Let's see what's going on here. I think it's navigating to Stockton. So again, this is the San Joaquin River going right into Stockton. I've flown along there. I've driven by boat down to the port of Stockton. And whether we are actually navigating or not, I'm not sure. It should be going to the left. So we got to turn on the autopilot. Let's see here. AP right there is, I think it's on now. And nav is on. Autopilot's on. Okay. And we go back outside. Now it's navigating. It's searching. It's searching. It's getting a little better. There we go. Now it's right on. So we're on course. Let's see if it's on this chart here. It's not showing the chart on here. But that's all right. We can see it. We can see it inside. Right there, we can see we're on course. So let's get it up here, and we can look on it and see if it says waypoint. That's the airport. Bearing, the distance is 9.5 miles. Okay, but we want to see the port of we could have the altitude hold on, but I haven't got that. I've got a minute to fiddle around with that. So let's see here. Vertical speed, altitude. There's altitude. So we want to put it on about 1,000 feet. Let's put it on 1,200 feet. And we want to go down. And we got to check VS. Now we'll go down 500 feet a minute. And that should be going down to 500 feet a minute. It looks like that's plugged in. I see the airport, I believe, right out there. And we should see, yeah. See, we see I-5 going right across, and that's right. You go right under I-5 to go down to the little downtown marina. So this is Stockton, and you see you got big deep water ships that are sitting here. They're not underwater here. This has been handcrafted. Yeah, see how it changes as you get closer to it? Looks like it's a little more handcrafted. So we're on course. I think we're working down to 1,200 feet. Yeah, see, we've got the 1,200 feet plugged in there. That's a problem with that. So let's talk to Stockton. We'll go up here. And they'll tell us what NorCal approach, nearest airport, Stockton Metropolitan, Stockton Tower, for full stop.
Stockton Tower 527D 527 Delta is 5 miles northwest 1,200 feet with Quebec to land.
527D 527 Delta Stockton Tower. Altimeter 29er.9er, 2 wind calm fly, left downwind runway, 29er left.
29er left. So looking back at the port, there it is. And then the downtown, they've got like a park downtown real close to here. This is really pretty nice what they put in there. So I have to answer that
Enter left downwind runway 29er, left 527D5, 27 Delta.
So 29 is left downwind for runway 29. Oop. Okay. So let's see if I see runway 29. I think that may be 29 heading back, yeah, the other way. So we'll take it off the autopilot and we fly downwind, and I think this is runway 29 right there. I better put my wheels down or I'll forget. Here they come out. We didn't need to land on our wheels, I mean on our floats. So that was a little challenge to work this out, but I haven't. This is amazing. This aircraft actually, I was telling you, the J3 didn't have it. It had a low frequency receiver in it, and we ran that because there wasn't an electrical system in the airplane. We ran that with a motorcycle battery that we put on the bench at night, charge it at night. So when we get opposite point of landing, they'll clear us to land on that runway. I landed at runway and I was flying a twin beach, a Beach 18, and they were repairing something on the runway. So when I landed here, I wanted to make a real smooth landing. Grease it on. I wanted to grease it on. We'll see if I grease this one on. I wanted to grease it on. And my buddy.
527 Delta wind calm, clear to land runway 29er left.
There we go.
Clear to land runway 29er, left 527D5, 27 Delta.
So in a second here, we'll cut the power. There we go. And we'll slowly get it down to, we don't need this anymore. We'll get in here. Get outside on the tail. And we need to get it down to about 60. Get put in some flap. So I got the power all the way back. Bring in some more flap. Full flap. So he took over. I was focused on it's probably that little runway. See the little runway up there? Maybe it was that little runway that we were landing on. But anyway, he said he took it over. He got on the brakes and got her slowed down, so we didn't hit anything.
D527 Delta contact ground on 121.9er.
Okay. We're at Stockton, California.
.9er 527D527 Delta. Goodbye.
And we'll see if we got a Yeah, we got a little taxiway there. Stockton ground.
Stockton ground 527D527 Delta taxi to parking.
527D527 Delta taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha Delta.
So I gotta answer them, or they'll nag me.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha Delta 527D527 Delta.
So we'll just run over this way a little bit and then call it a day. The flaps are back up. Yeah, maybe it was that, and that was the only time I landed at Stockton, was in the Beach 18. So this one's a little longer than I thought, but anyway, we'll go over here by the tower. Have a car up ahead, so that would indicate that that's where they want us to go, but we're not going up there. We've seen enough. Could be our bus. I don't know why they have the bus coming right out of on the field. We'll go over by the tower. I don't know where the food is. Here, we'll put it right here in the box. There we go. Right in the box, near the tower. Now, I don't know what all this would be. No, it looks like they got some cars there. It's something. It's in the works. But it'll be fun again. It'll be fun to see what they come up with the new resolution and everything, in the new release of Microsoft Flight Simulator. I guess they'll call it 2024 now instead of 2020. Okay, pull the mixture back, and we could turn off the everything in here. It didn't do it, but we can hit the master. There we go. This tells us our time. 26 minutes. Yeah. 9/8. I didn't know it did that, but there you go. Felt like it was a little longer, but it's just when you step out of the F-15 into a 100-mile-an-hour Cub. I don't know that I ever got around it. The Cub that I learned in, I bet it was, under $5,000. It was a used airplane built in 1947 called a Piper J3. It had a 65 horsepower engine. You've heard me talk about that. And a tandem two-seater, which is just the same that we're flying here in this machine. And it let's see, restart, continue, back to main menu. So we'll just say continue, and we'll go outside and look at the Cub here. The Cub, that's the X Cub. I'm going back to 527 BC. I don't know why I ended up with the D, but I finally figured that out. They have updates, and they adjust your computers. You've all had that with the more technical. My son has the AutoCAD for doing his design work and engineering, and the updates mess with your adjustments. So anyway, I'll get 527 BC back on, which is May 27th is the day I was born. I was talking when I don't think that Frank's track blew down on May 27, but 1937 is when it first blew down. They rebuilt it, and then I said 1927, 1937, I think. Yeah, it was 1937. They patched it, pumped it out. This is how the story goes. And then a year later, or 2 years later, it blew down again. And again, right where it blew down, and that's where the tides come up from the San Joaquin River. So a tide surge hit it, and plus with winds and storms, the winds coming out of the south, so they'd push the waters up in that direction, and down it went again. So anyway, that's 527, and BC is, of course, not before Christ, but Blair Camp. That's my name. And look, we're at 180 feet, 185 feet elevation right here in Stockton. And this airplane is 400,000. Probably, I was pricing it's probably up to 500,000 with inflation. They build them up in Yakima, Washington. Great little airplane. It's probably got $50,000 worth of electronics. And I haven't been flying real airplanes for 10 years. And before that, really into it, where I knew all the makes and all the airplanes and actively flying. That's 20 to 30 years ago. Flew the Mail in the 60s, which is 50 years ago. 60 years. God, isn't that something? Oh, it was 1969, so it's 50 years ago. Seems like yesterday. Okay, that's enough. Oh, you're off. I stopped it. No, maybe I didn't. Let's see here. No, I was still on the air. Okay, so my flight time was 27 minutes, and this is going to be more like 35 minutes.